out of 120 for on TOEFL exam, yes, to be selected. No, you don't know, they don't, it's not the main criteria. The main criteria is what you will fill in the program plan, your program plan and your personal statement. So this Zoom session is to help you guys to successfully fill the form. And for the program plan, you have to read carefully the question and answer exactly. And what I noticed is that in English, you know, I'm a French speaking, and I did how do you call it's not Anglo-Saxon training that I did. For me, it was Francophone studies, and it was not easy for me to understand very well the Anglo-Saxon system. And I learned a lot with this program, even by filling forms. And what I noticed is that you go directly through the question. Where you have a question, you answer directly. At the contrary of the French system that you have to, they say, amener le sujet, poser le problème, something like that. No, for English, so answer directly the question, read carefully and many times to make sure that you understand before answer. And when you start the answer, go directly to the thing. So for the program plan, you have, for the program plan, the first question, description of major area of interest. And here you have to explain exactly what you would like to do there. For me, it was public policy analysis and public administration, because as Robert said to introduce myself, I work at ENAM. Yes, at ENAM is a state institution. Yes, it's a state institution. So for public, related to public administration. So that's why I choose. And when you have the way you will answer, they would like to see the connection between what you are doing, your profession or your job, your current job should be related to what you will want to be trained when you will go to the US. So if you are, for example, a journalist, if you say that you want to study, even agriculture, yes, is good. To choose a field which is not really connected to your job, your current job, and you need to explain to give many details to convince them that what you want to do could help you. Yes, could help you in your position where you come back to Cameroon. So make sure that your program plan, the description of your major area should be related to what you are doing or what you learned, your training in general. And yes, in general, I don't like to be long in my presentation, because when the presentation is long, it's not easy to follow. So I think that I could stop here, there, and listen and give the floor to other panelists to say something. I'm thinking at Andre. Andre, also Josiane, but I think Josiane is not yet there. She will join us later to add something. And we are open. I will be open for question and answer. And if someone needs to know how is the program when you are selected, I'm also free to share what I did there and what I learned there. And okay, it's good. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup, Josiane, merci. Mireille Tchakouté, je voudrais dire.
Mireille.
Mireille Tchakouté, merci beaucoup Mireille. Nous voulons vous remercier pour votre présentation et dire que le programme Hubert Humphrey n'est pas seulement pour les personnes d'expression anglaise, c'est pour tout le monde. Si vous parlez français, n'hésitez pas à postuler. Et Mireille nous l'a dit, il faudra seulement que votre programme plan et votre personal statement soient bien rédigés. Dans tous les cas, vous pouvez être sélectionné parce que vous n'avez pas besoin de composer l'examen TOEFL pour pouvoir participer au programme Hubert Humphrey. Merci beaucoup.
Sorry, Robert, je vais un peu interrompre. On a besoin du TOEFL. The TOEFL is also required, but it's not the prerequisite. It's not the first condition. The TOEFL you take is just to know your level in English, because when you don't have a high level in English like me, and if your program plan, your personal statements are good, you are selected and you go before. So en fait, quand le niveau d'anglais est moyen, quand le niveau d'anglais est moyen, on produit quand le niveau d'anglais est moyen et que le programme plan les a convaincus, vous êtes sélectionné, mais vous partez avant parce que comme Dorothy l'a dit, le programme commence en août, au plus tard en septembre pour finir en juin de l'année suivante. Donc, quand le niveau d'anglais est moyen ou même faible, ils vous permettent de partir avant. Moi, j'ai fait plus d'1 an aux États-Unis. J'ai fait d'abord 4 mois d'anglais intensif. Je suis allée avant, d'avril à août. J'ai fait d'abord 4 mois d'anglais intensif aux États-Unis avant de commencer le programme en août. Donc, on produit le TOEFL. Il faut produire le TOEFL pour qu'on juge le niveau. Et même une fois arrivé là-bas, on vous fait également un autre test de TOEFL pour savoir dans quelle classe vous vous insérez. Est-ce intermédiaire ou advanced ou le premier niveau là? Oui. Donc, il y a le TOEFL. Yes, beginners. Thank you. Beginners. So when what I wanted to say that even as you said, even if you are a francophone, don't worry about your level in English. Don't worry. You have just to give a good program plan and a good personal statement. And during the interview, you have to defend what you wrote on your program plan to be selected. And also the TOEFL, you will produce the TOEFL. It's not to see if you don't have 120 that you won't be selected. No, even if you have if your level is not good or you have an average level and your program plan is good, you go before and attend attend intensive English classes like I did. I went 4 months before the beginning of my program because my English was was kind of English. So you have to produce the TOEFL test here, and when you are selected, if your level is not you don't have a good level enough, you will go before. So the maximum of English language intensive English classes here is 4 months. So I did 4 months of English. When I was there, I had some friends from other countries. They came only for 2 months. Some others for 1 month. It depends on your level. It depends on your level in English. So the maximum is 4. For me, I had 4 months so that I spent more than 1 year in the US for this program because the program itself is 10 months only. So when you are an English speaker, and Anglophone, you have a good level in English, you will go in August. No, you will go in July, end of July to begin on August. So you have the TOEFL to produce the TOEFL test, but it's not the condition to be selected. No. It's not the condition. The condition to be selected is a good program plan and a good personal statement. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup, Mireille. Donc, nous apprenons qu'il faut absolument le TOEFL, mais le TOEFL n'est pas vraiment un prérequis. Vous pouvez être sélectionné même si votre niveau d'anglais est vraiment bas, mais vous devez composer l'examen TOEFL et l'examen TOEFL permettra simplement de jauger votre niveau afin de vous placer dans un niveau de cours une fois que vous arrivez aux États-Unis. Et à ce moment-là, vous devez arriver un peu plus tôt que les autres. Et Mireille nous l'a dit, il s'agit de 4 mois. Et pendant les 4 mois avant le début du programme, vous passez des cours d'anglais pour vous permettre d'être au niveau requis pour vos cours. Merci beaucoup, Mireille. Je voudrais savoir, est-ce que les participants ont une question pour Mireille? Sinon, nous continuons. Y a-t-il quelqu'un qui aurait une question pour Mireille? Sinon, et s'ils n'ont pas de question, Mireille, je voudrais savoir, est-ce que vous pouvez nous dire si ce n'est pas vraiment privé, quel est le niveau que vous aviez quand vous avez fait votre test d'anglais? Vous pouvez ne pas le partager, hein, vous pouvez ne pas le dire.
Je ris parce que franchement, j'ai un peu honte, mais bon, on est aussi là pour apprendre et puis pour édifier les autres. En fait, c'est aussi une façon de leur dire, de leur prouver qu'ils ne s'inquiètent pas pour leur niveau en anglais. Une fois quand j'ai revu mes résultats du TOEFL, Seigneur, j'ai eu je ne sais pas, c'était peut-être speaking, yes, my level was very, very, low, very low. Ouais, c'était vraiment, je peux même dire nul, je peux dire nul. Donc, c'est là où j'ai eu la confirmation que ce n'est pas la langue qui est la condition sine qua non d'être sélectionné. Non, j'étais vraiment nul. Là, maintenant, je me débrouille un peu. Je comprends déjà très bien, parfaitement. Parler, je ne parle pas couramment parce que la pratique aussi, vous savez, la langue étrangère, c'est la pratique courante. Et au Cameroun, généralement, on est toujours tenté à parler le français, même quand on a des anglophones en face de nous, même nous qui travaillons pour le secteur public, vous recevez un usager anglophone, il veut toujours parler en français. Et moi, je lui ai dit, no, even me, I want to improve my English, so speak in English. Donc, c'est un peu ça. Ce qui fait que quand on rentre, avec le temps qui passe, moi, je suis rentrée en 2018, ça fait déjà 4 ou 5 ans, je crois bien. Forcément, le niveau va encore prendre un coup parce que je ne pratique pas couramment au quotidien. Mais quand je partais, mon niveau était vraiment nul, vraiment, vraiment très nul. Franchement, bon, une fois là-bas, j'ai été classée pas à beginner, mais pas à intermédiaire non plus. J'étais entre beginner et intermédiaire parce qu'il y avait encore, si je fouille dans mes archives, je peux trouver, il y avait encore une classe là. Et puis après, il fallait passer à intermédiaire et puis advanced. Donc, mon niveau n'était vraiment pas ça. C'était vraiment nul. Ça, je le dis, c'est juste pour encourager les autres. Je le dis. Et ma application form, j'ai été aidée par des personnes j'écrivais en français pour appliquer. J'ai utilisé la traduction. I'm talking for if we have some French speaker francophone. Don't worry about your level in English. You can write your application in English and ask someone to read and translate. But for me, I mostly use Google Translation because my level was a little bit bad. I use my Google Translate and I gave to people to help me arrange the English. But you have to write yourself. C'est good that c'est bien quand c'est toi-même qui rédige parce que tu sais ce que tu as écrit puisqu'il faudra défendre ça lors de l'interview si tu es présélectionné. So you have to do your work to fill your form, to write and give to someone to help you put it in good English. Yes, it's what I did because my level was not good at all. So if you have francophone, you can try and fill the form. Even in French, you go give to someone even your English teacher to help you with English to translate. And because if you fill the form, you will know what you wrote, and it will be easier for you explain, to defend yourself during the interview if you are pre-selected. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup, Mireille. Merci. Donc, I think the level of English isn't a problem. If you can apply, and then remember, Mireille is saying you can actually, if you're French speaking, write your application, do everything in French, then you can translate as she did, and then provided what you have strong points at the level of your program plan and also at the level of your personal statement. Je pense que ce qu'elle appelle le programme plan ici serait votre plan de programme, le plan que vous avez, le plan d'études que vous avez pour le programme là-bas. Et puis, le personal statement sera votre motivation, ce qui vous motive à étudier pour à postuler pour le programme. Merci beaucoup, Mireille. Je pense que j'ai vu une question et c'était la question de Nané Toubé et elle demandait quels sont les centres d'intérêt du programme. Est-ce que vous pouvez lui apporter réponse, Mireille?
Les centres d'intérêt du programme. En fait, ici, la question renvoie à ce que tu comptes faire là-bas. Donc, quand on dit describe the major area of interest, donc ce que tu comptes aller faire, moi, c'était dans l'administration publique, Public Policy Analysis and Public Administration. So, tu expliques, enfin, je ne sais pas comment je peux dire, j'ai un peu mon application ici. Describe your major area of interest and explain how this area addresses the specific development needs of your country. Bon, là, j'ai parlé de mon cursus. J'ai commencé déjà par les diplômes que j'ai obtenus, ma formation professionnelle et en relation avec les postes que j'occupais au moment où je postulais. Et j'ai donc dit, si j'ai choisi d'aller faire l'administration publique, bon, c'est parce que je travaille à l'ENAM, qui est une institution publique. Et puis, l'ENAM, comme tout le monde le sait, l'ENAM forme les décideurs de demain, donc les hauts cadres de la République. Et maintenant, mon centre d'intérêt, c'est d'aller voir ce qui se passe aux États-Unis en administration publique, comment le gouvernement américain fait par rapport à son administration publique. Donc, toucher un peu du doigt la réalité de l'autre côté pour voir si je peux venir faire des propositions au niveau de l'ENAM en ce sens que peut-être on peut, si ça peut influer sur le programme des études des élèves, par exemple. Donc, en fait, ton centre d'intérêt, ce qui te motive à aller là-bas et pourquoi tu veux aller là-bas. Et it's good to know that yesterday, when I was attending the Zoom session of yesterday, I think it was we had I followed the two speakers, Dr. Lilian and Joseph. They talked about the dream. Yes. So when you have a dream, it's good to have a dream. And when you have a dream, it's good to put all effort to realize this dream. And even if there is someone who applied this year, and if you are not selected, don't discourage yourself, because even me, it was not my first time that I was selected. I tried, it was the second time. And the good thing for this Humphrey Fellowship Program is that when you are not selected, when your candidature is rejected, because it's good to know that the pre-selection is done here at the US Embassy in Yaoundé in Cameroon. You are pre-selected here, and the final selection comes from the United States, the Department of State through IIE, International Institute of Education, something like that. And the final selection comes from there. The good thing is that when you receive the mail saying that you are not selected, they give you the point which leads your non-selection. And for me, the point that where I felt was my program plan. No, it was my personal statement. Yes, it was my personal statement, because Americans don't like when you like quand tu es un peu centré vers toi, ils n'aiment pas le je, non. Ils aiment le nous. Et moi, quand j'ai postulé pour la première année, au niveau de mon personal statement, par exemple, qu'est-ce que vous comptez, comment vous voyez-vous dans 5 ans? Il ne faut pas dire, bon, je serai, non, 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 ils n'aiment pas ça. Et même si tu dis je serai, il faut dire ce que tu seras va bénéficier à la communauté. Moi, j'avais dit je serai, mais je n'ai pas dit ce qui devait, en quoi la communauté devait bénéficier de ce que je serai. Donc, quand vous allez remplir, il faut faire attention à ce niveau-là. Et c'est ça l'avantage du Humphrey. Ce n'est pas pour les autres programmes, parce que pour les autres, quand vous n'êtes pas retenu, ils ne vous expliquent, ils ne vous disent pas pourquoi votre candidature a été rejetée, ils ne vous disent pas. Mais pour le Humphrey, moi, on m'avait dit. Donc, j'ai postulé la première année, je n'ai pas été retenue. Quand j'ai reçu le dernier mail m'annonçant la mauvaise nouvelle, ils m'ont dit pourquoi je n'ai pas été retenue. Ce qui fait que la deuxième fois, quand j'ai postulé, j'ai beaucoup plus travaillé sur ces points-là. Et c'est sur ces points-là que j'insiste aujourd'hui. Ici, à program plan, ici, à personal statements A and B. So make sure that here you are not kind of like centered on yourself. No, no, no. Because for me, I wrote at this time, the first time that yes, in 5 years, I'm seeing myself as a prime minister, as a president of the republic, as a pope, and with no relation with what if my community will benefit on. So when they gave me this feedback for the second time, I tried to give many details. Et il faut aussi savoir que les Américains lisent tout. Même si déjà quand ils vous demandent même 2 pages, soyez sûrs qu'ils vont lire les 2 pages. Ils lisent vraiment tout. Parce que je l'ai aussi découvert une fois là-bas, même lors des cours, quand j'ai pris des cours pour avoir le Certificate of Advanced Studies. Ils lisent tout de A à Z. Ils ne sont pas comme nous. Bon, ce n'est pas pour tirer à boulet rouge sur nos enseignants. Ils ne sont pas comme nous qui lisons en diagonale. Peut-être on lit la première ligne et puis on pique une autre phrase au milieu et puis on prend la fin pour avoir une idée. Non, eux, ils lisent tout, ligne après ligne, et ils aiment les détails. You have to elaborate, give details, give examples, give many, many descriptions. Make sure that they will read all. From A to Z, they will read. Donc, il faut, et puis, don't be like, as I said previously, don't be, le mot m'échappe. Donc, il faut dire, dans tout ce que vous allez dire, il faut qu'il y ait une relation avec la communauté, ce qui va bénéficier à votre pays, ce qui va bénéficier dans votre administration où vous travaillez, ou bien, parce qu'il faut dire que le Humphrey, c'est pour le public et le privé. Donc, ce n'est pas uniquement le public. Donc, il faut dire, quand vous allez rentrer, ce que vous avez appris là-bas, comment vous comptez mettre à profit dans votre administration ou bien dans votre entreprise pour la communauté et tout ça. Donc, il faut aussi être vraiment, il faut mettre l'accent sur ces points-là. C'est ça qui pèse pour le truc. C'est ça qui pèse pour l'application. Le reste, là, c'est rien. Le reste, c'est rien. C'est le programme plan en personal statement. Et ne vous découragez pas. Si vous postulez une fois, ce n'est pas bon, allez-y la deuxième fois. Poursuivez votre rêve. Parce que moi, mon rêve était d'étudier aux États-Unis. Quand j'ai postulé la première fois, ça n'a pas marché. Dieu merci, ils m'ont dit pourquoi je n'ai pas été retenue. La deuxième fois, j'ai essayé, j'ai donc maximisé les points à ce niveau-là. Et puis, bon, en fait, il fallait que je réalise ce rêve-là d'étudier aux États-Unis. Et bon, ça s'est fait. Et ça s'est très bien passé également. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much, Mireille, for sharing your experience with us. And I must say, I must appreciate like Fonui in our the chat box. I must appreciate your persistence. You need to be persistent. You need not to be discouraged at the first trial. And then you also need to, we need to know that when you're not selected, actually, as she's saying, the program will tell you, the team managers of the program will tell you why your application was not selected, so you could work better for the next one. So thank you very much, Mireille, once more. We're going to move to the next speaker, and I think it's Andre. Is Andre connected? Andre, est-ce que vous êtes connecté?
Yes, sir. Are you getting me?
Yes, we can hear you very well, Andre. So, Andre worked with taxation, the Supreme Court Audit Institution of Cameroon, and the international organizations of state audit institutions. Now he works as an expert in public finance, and he's also a member of the African Tax Research Network and the Association of Fraud Examiners. He's an owner of a certificate of fraud examiner. So Andre participated in the program. You might want to start by telling us which year it was again. So Andre, you have the floor.
Thank you, Robert, for giving me the opportunity to talk about the program, the Humphrey program. I attended the 2015 and 2016 session. So just before Mireille. Okay. Are you okay, Mr. Robert, now?
Yeah, we can hear you very well, Andre. You can carry on.
Thank you. Thank you. So in my presentation, first, thanks to Dr. Chapter, thanks to Mireille, both are telling different things that are very useful for each future candidate of the Humphrey Fellowship Program. Everything said by them is very, very important. Now, for me, I will stress on three things: goals, achievements, and leadership abilities. When applying, it is important to know what are your goals, your achievements, and how do you demonstrate the leadership abilities. While in the training in Syracuse, where Mireille went to, we were advised to be able to talk about ourselves and our goals in just 30 seconds. They call it the elevator speech. That means you meet someone that is taking the elevator on appelle l'ascenseur. So you are going from the first floor to the 10th floor. In those 30 seconds, you have to tell all about you and your plan and your future plans. And that is important when applying. You must be able, about goals now, to talk what is your goals. You are applying for what? What do you want? What do you want to go to do in the USA? That must be clearly known by you and clearly mentioned in your applications. Clearly. Why are you going there? What are your purposes? What do you want to achieve? How you like to achieve it? You will put a stress on that very clearly. And then the future, the outcomes of your training for you. What do you think the training will bring to you? What the training will bring to your community? Mireille said about a personal statement. There are different different statements there. I will stress on the first part, where you have a 50 words summary, just 50 words summary. Now people will go through the application, they will come back always to it. It's very easy to read the 50 word summary, where you talk about what you want to go and do in the USA, how do you want to achieve it, for what purpose. If it is clearly said, that is a very good start for your application, and also that can help to a good end of your application, because you are clear. They know what you want and how you want it and why. So after the goals, let us talk now about the achievements. You should also be clear about your achievements, because you are being evaluated. Many candidates will come, and not only Cameroonians, but also candidates in Africa and in the world. So your achievement will be able to show that you are a very good candidate, a capable candidate. So you must mention and think first thing, and select your most outstanding achievement. Vos plus grandes réalisations, vous devez les avoir en tête. Those achievements that show that you are a leader. You're a leader, yes. And so with those achievements that you will select to put in your applications, you also have to mention the impact of those achievements on you, on your ability of being a leader. the impact of those achievements for the community where you work, and maybe for the country, even the continent, and so on. With your achievements that you know very well and master very well, you should also be able to prove, to show how your achievements brought improvements to people and to the organizations. So the third thing I would like to mention here that is very important to master and put in your application after goals and achievements. The third one is leadership abilities. As you have read in the introduction of the Humphrey Fellowship Program, this is a program for leaders and for future leaders that will improve. So they are already leaders. This means that when writing your application, you must first think and then put in your application what shows that you are a leader. It's not easy to be a leader because a leader, Gandhi, a leader is not a leader like Mandela, like Sankara. They're not the same. So different people can be leaders with different qualities. There's not only one quality as leader, no. For me, I think you can do the same. First, since you have to state on leadership abilities, first thing is to try to seek in the dictionary or through internet or books, what is a leader? You select all good definitions of a leader, what shows that someone is a leader. You put all of them aside and then apply it to yourself to show how you apply this and this ability of a leader. It can be honesty, it can be training others, it can be elevating others, it can improving your communities, improving your society, and so on. So these are some of the most important things that I plan to talk to you today about: the clarity of your goals, the specificity of your achievements, and your leadership abilities. You will notice that sometimes the same question will appear in different ways. Please, it will be very important not to put the same thing in the beginning, the same thing in the middle, and the same thing at the end. It will be like a song called in French monotone. No, but it is like a poem that you will write. All of we know many good songs. Some will like maybe Dolly Parton. Some will like Nico Mbarga, maybe Emile Kange, Koti Francois, Gualotin, or Manu Bango. You say that in all of those, there are songs. They are only words, but put in different ways. Sometimes the changing of the voice, the volume, the rhythm also change. Sometimes new instruments enter with the same word or new words that accompany the most common words. In the same way, you should also build your application like a good song of music where they know exactly where you want to go. Like if you talk example of my sweet mother, the same thing begins, sweet mother, I never forget you. The same thing is there from the beginning to the end, but put in different way, in different rhythm. So that when listening to the song, they know that the theme of this song is this. The lesson of this song is this. That must be the same with our application or your application. You must know first why you want to go to US, to do what, to achieve what. It is clear that people also know your goals, your achievement, and how all this shows that you are a leader from now and a future leaders. Because you want to change yourself now and change the community later using the knowledge that you gain during your Humphrey year. This is in a nutshell what I wanted to share with the community today. Thanks, Robert.
Merci infiniment, André. Bon, la présentation d'André a été basée sur les objectifs. En fait, André voudrait nous faire savoir que nous devons connaître quels sont les objectifs pour lesquels, quel est le but visé, pourquoi est-ce que nous postulons pour le programme. Et à ce moment, il faut parler du comment et de ce que l'on va réaliser une fois aux États-Unis. Et il faudrait que l'on parle également de nos réalisations En fait, et il a dit dans nos réalisations, nous devons dire comment est-ce que nos réalisations ont eu un impact sur nous, sur notre communauté et sur les personnes autour de nous. Et en troisième lieu, il a parlé de nos capacités en matière de leadership. Il a très bien expliqué, il y a beaucoup de leaders et les différents leaders ont différentes capacités. Donc, le leadership, il faudrait bien que l'on fasse une recherche sur le leadership et que l'on voit les qualités du leadership qui correspondent à notre personne. Enfin, je voudrais dire que André nous a dit qu'il faut éviter d'être monotone dans sa candidature parce qu'en fait, on peut dire la même chose, mais de différentes façons. On devrait comprendre tout simplement ce que l'on voudrait faire sans toutefois être monotone, dit exactement la même chose partout. Merci beaucoup, André, pour cet exposé vraiment minutieux. Nous voudrons passer la parole ou bien demander à quelques personnes, quelques participants de vous poser quelques questions. Oui, je vois qu'Hélène Fonnuy qui est vraiment content et qui vous dit merci. Nous voudrons demander s'il y a des questions, vous pouvez les saisir. Vous pouvez également poser la question, lever la main pour poser la question si vous le voulez. Est-ce qu'il y a des questions? Au cas où il n'y a pas de questions, nous allons passer à la prochaine personne. Je ne sais pas si Josiane est déjà connectée. Y a-t-il des questions? Do you have any questions for Andre? I think he was very clear talking about objectives, achievements, and then leadership abilities. OK, je ne vois pas de questions et je ne vois pas de main levée. Je voudrais demander à Josiane, je ne sais pas, Josiane est-elle déjà connectée, Josiane? Je ne sais pas, je ne pense pas, je ne vois pas Josiane connectée. Est-ce que Josiane est là? Je ne la vois pas connectée. Oui, si Josiane n'est pas là, est-ce que le docteur Dorothy Chachwa est encore connecté? Dr. Dorothy, are you still connected?
Yes, I'm on the line.
Oh, yeah, that's
Are
great.
You
We
me?
didn't get all your presentation. Would you just like to go through what you didn't finish at the beginning?
Okay. Thank you for allowing me to continue. Yeah. So what I was saying in the beginning was trying to go through the application form for the Humphrey Fellowship. I can say from the, let me just introduce myself because I never went for the Humphrey Fellowship, but my application was for the Humphrey Fellowship. During the interview for the Humphrey Fellowship, because of the statement of program or program plan, my jury decided that I should go for Fulbright. So that is how I found myself in Fulbright Fellowship. But my application was for Humphrey. So as I was going on, I like the questions concerning the program plan, how we are supposed to answer the question, how we are supposed to develop our interests. So the question is, please describe your major area of interest and explain how this area addresses the specific development needs of your country. So methods to meet the interests, results, and possible output. Your interest must come from what you are doing because this is a professional enhancement program. So you must be doing something for you to be able to write concerning an area of interest. So I would like to take example of my case to demonstrate how to develop the area of interest. My area of interest cannot be agriculture because I'm teaching in the School of Agriculture, no, or plant production because I'm teaching in the Department of Agriculture. So you need to identify a specific subject, in plant production to specialize or develop as an area of interest. In plant production, normally we have some areas such as plant genetics, plant physiology, plant pathology that you can take as your area of interest. And even in the plant genetics, you need to go into details, which specific area in plant genetics can be your area of interest. Like, as I said, I would always take the example in myself. I decided to take my area of interest to be genetic improvement. So this specific area of interest will allow you specify and can give you a good direction to develop your interest. Because if you don't go into details or you don't go into specific, and maybe your area of interest is too broad, you will not be able to develop your interest easily. So after identifying your interest, how important is this your area of interest to the community or to the people you are working with? So for example, my area of interest is genetic improvement of forest trees. So the interest must have something to do with improving the living condition of the people, the environment, and why not market potentials. So how can this interest build the future matters a lot in the program plan. From this, your objective can be developed. After identifying your area of interest and describing the importance of this interest to the society, the next thing is to talk about the problems you can identify or you have identified. If you solve this problem, will it help your community to bring development, or can it impact development in the community? I think all what we need in the fellowship is to bring back knowledge, skills, or facilities that can bring a change in our community. How can the program help solve this problem identified? And what are the methods to be used or you are going to use to meet the objectives? So we talk about you need to search the literature to know the methods that have been used in the study. You then talk about methods you have been using and the difficulties you have faced. You may need to apply a technology that is not available in the country, but is breaking grounds in other countries, especially like in the USA. So reason why you need to go and get this in order that you can use in your country to help your research or directly in the development. These technologies may be applied in industries, companies, and even research centers. This you will need to break it down so that it will provide or identify the industries you need to visit while in the USA. After a good methodology, results will be followed. Your results will be good, will be the knowledge you will gain to set up research or implement directly into the project you have developed. After following this trend, at the end, you will be able to see how possible your application will make sense. If at the end of your write-up, this does not happen to you, know you still have issues to tackle. After developing your program plan, you need to write a 50-word summary of your proposed program plan. I think 3 lines or sentences from your objective, methods, and usefulness of the results is sufficient to tackle this section. At this stage, you must have finished writing your program plan. The question on personal statement B, that describing a situation, personal or professional, that requires resourcefulness on your part to solve. What did you do and what was the outcome? In this question, you need to talk about something that you have done and have impacted your life and that of others. I will still want to use my example here. And my example is why I choose to do science in the secondary school. I spoke about my family background, the urge to help my family, especially my father, in improving his production was very important in my life. So this urge has led me to where I am, and the farms too are doing very well. So everything I would do is like, how would this help me produce more crops or have higher yields? So genetic is just that modern technology for higher yields production in plants. The other question will be tackled. Okay, I think Mireille Chakunte has tackled some of the problems the questions that we had on the application form. So with this, I say thank you for your kind attention.
Wow, merci.
Yeah, thank you for.
Oui, merci beaucoup, docteur. Merci pour cette présentation. Tout a été très bien expliqué. Vous avez parlé de l'intérêt spécifiquement et vous avez dit que l'on ne doit pas prendre comme intérêt seulement le domaine dans lequel nous travaillons, mais un aspect du domaine, parce que nous avons l'habitude de faire. Nous devons bien rédiger notre plan d'action, ce que vous avez appelé le programme plan, et notre lettre de motivation, le personal statement, devra être bien détaillé également. Et nous ne devons pas, comme André l'a dit tout à l'heure, être répétitifs. Merci beaucoup pour tous ces conseils, docteur. Nous voulons dire, reconnaître les félicitations à André de la part d'Anatole et de Kellen. Cela figure sur la page discussion et nous voudrons inviter d'autres personnes à bien vouloir envoyer aussi des messages à ce niveau-là, de même que des questions. Je vois une main levée de la part de Joshua Obase. Joshua, are you online? Are you connected? Could you ask your question? Just one question and we move on. We still have just 15 minutes to go. Yes, Joshua?
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting you.
Yeah, you might want to introduce yourself before asking your question, please.
Okay, I am Obase Joshua, a teacher at the College of Intellectual and GBHS Chang. Now, following the doctor's presentation, I just learned that one must not necessarily write on his profession or on his career. So I was like doubting that if you're in teaching field and you want to do biomedical engineering, biomedicals, so you must not necessarily talk about your profession, but you must talk about what you are passionate in. That is what I learned from a doctor's presentation. I appreciate her presentation so much. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Actually, it's just a remark. It isn't a question, but I think that's what she said. She said your area of interest. She's talking about your interest and not what you're actually doing. Thank you. I think that's exactly that. Doctor, is there anything you might want to add to it? I think he's just said what you said.
Yeah, what he's trying to say, I'm surprised. I'm just like, it's okay if you have something that, since it's a professional enhancement program, it's not like research oriented. If you have something that you can do, people that are doing non-governmental organizations, meaning they don't really have a particular research interest, they are also going for Humphrey. So if you have you are passionate about something and you develop the area of interest in that your passion, I think it can work in the application for Humphrey.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you. I can see a lot of wow, a lot of very interesting from Kellen, from Tilili, from Obase. That's wonderful. So I want to proceed, and this time around, we might want to get the director of Open Dreams. I think Josiane Backup, is she around? I don't think she's connected. Is Josiane connected? I can see Josiane connected. So if Josiane is not connected, we might want to move on. And then this time around, we're going to get the director of Open Dreams, James Akaba. Hey, James, are you there?
Yeah, hello, everybody. It is a delight to be connected for this session here today. Robert, thank you so much for that amazing coordination. For the Humphrey alumni, I'm so impressed with the presentation. Sometimes you can be super intelligent, but if you don't have somebody to give you direction, you may not be very different from, you may just fumble and never get it right. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Open Dreams quite quickly. Yeah, so Open Dreams started in 2014. It was conceived in New York, though it had a London connection. And the purpose of the organization, or we have as mission to equalize access to educational opportunities for community impact. So this was motivated by this Nelson Mandela statement that it is through education, the daughter of a peasant can become a doctor, that the son of a mine worker can become a mine owner, that a child of a farmer can become president. Education, we know, is the most powerful weapon that we can use to change the world. We realized that, I mean, I've been a teacher in Cameroon for a good number of years, over 3 decades. And if you share such a situation, you realize that there are lots of very intelligent students who just do not get anywhere after the advanced level, because the Cameroon is very difficult terrain to navigate. You need a lot of things to put together for you to make that happen. So we also have realized that most program participants come back to impact Open Dreams a lot. If you look at this first picture, you see the president of the Cameroon Fulbright Alumni Emeritus impacting in our distance education project. We were together in Bamenda, Buea, and Yaoundé, and we hope to continue to the University of Cambridge, God willing. Now our mentorship program, as I said, started in 2014. We count a scholar base of about 1,000. When I say, let me say the whole Open Dreams family is over 1,000, made up of pre-scholars, people in high school, people who just had a degree from the university, and even people with masters. It's also made up of scholars, people who already have scholarships or who have some significant achievement within this within the community. That we have mentors, we have people who just support the vision. And we are part of the Hali Access Network. Hali means High Achieving Low Income, and it's a Pan-African network. It was founded by some 2 Americans who were working in the US Embassy in Zimbabwe. So we cover the entire Africa, and we are grossly supported by MasterCard Foundation for Professional Development Opportunities. We're also part of the International Association for College Admission Counseling, International ACAC, and I'm proud to say that this year, 2 brand new Cameroonian teachers got selected for the program. For some years, I held the monopoly as the only scholar in Cameroon, but we have 2 other Cameroonians joining that training program. We also belong to the Council of International, or Association of International Schools in Africa, or the Council of International Schools. We have affiliation with the Association of African Universities, and we are increasingly moving our mentorship from a fixed setting to an e-mentorship program. And all of these, it cannot function without experts. Like we just had making their services available. In the US, when you mentor for like an hour, you can harvest quite a lot of money for that. For instance, when we asked Google to be part of our distance education program, they were asking for $750 per hour. That is like the salary of a Cameroonian civil servant for maybe 2-3 months. But we are happy that we have the passion to give back and strengthen our community. So Open Dreams recently introduced what we call the Aviva Scholar Program. The Aviva Scholar Program promotes research in the health of women in child healthcare in an attempt to reduce maternal mortality. This one goes to students who are studying medicine in the 4th, 5th year, 6th year of medical school. It also supports community health outreach programs. So people who, the war in the Northwest, Southwest has caused a lot of medical personnel to flee from the villages. So if you feel like you can go take one day and attend to the health needs of the community, there is about 2 million francs for that program. And you need to build up a team of doctors for that. And there are a couple of programs. If you go to the Open Dreams website, you find that. And then we are also affiliated to the Mastercard Foundation. I will talk a little bit about that, as well as the Commonwealth programs. I will talk a little bit about that ahead. And then because we are part of the Early Access Network, we are connected to Ashesi University, and they just introduced the mechatronic program alongside the Zurich Institute of Technology in Switzerland. And we are looking for Cameroonians to be part of this program. Particular focus is paid on girls. Particular focus is on girls who are in this term. We also are looking into people who are refugees, not only in Cameroon, foreigners who are in Cameroon as refugees. Duolingo just set aside quite some significant amount of money to support these people in their education endeavor. So if you are connected to any of them who are really promising and show love for the community, know that such opportunities are there for them. And beyond the Fulbright programs, there are lots of other programs you can make good use of. So if you sit down and explore the expertise you have, harnessing your own gifts in combination with all the mentorship lessons you've had, and you submit for this Fulbright application, for the Humphrey application, just apply to as many as you can. Do not just end there. If you are determined to move on with your dreams, we call it open dreams, keep those dreams as open as possible. Right now, we have the joint Japan World Bank Scholarship program, which is targeting Africans. I think the deadline is the 30th or 31st of this month. You can Google that up. And ever since we had a partnership with the Commonwealth, Commonwealth Scholarship Organization, there's not been a single year that we have been able to fill up all the openings of PhD positions. So sometimes when you hear Cameroonians say, scholarships, you need to bribe to have a scholarship, you need to bribe before your name can send. There might be elements like that, but too often people do not apply as many as they are supposed to apply. So the first year we were supposed to field in 15 candidates for PhD. We did not go up to 8. We just reached about 8. Fielding in candidates does not necessarily mean that those candidates are selected. You know, they still have to go through a lot of, they still have to subject the candidates to prove the substance of that. So this year, there were still like 2 positions that were left unfilled. So if you worked out your way and you can't make it for any of these programs, there are a lot of other programs you can be part of. And thanks to the Mastercard Foundation program, a whole lot of open scholars are part of this initiative. Now, some universities, when you have a Mastercard Foundation scholarship, like we just had one of our medical doctors studying at the University of California, Berkeley. That's the same university where the Brenda Pierre was studying. And that university is one of the best, among the top 5 in the world. And when you have such a scholarship, they pay your flight, they give you a laptop, they give you a monthly allowance. And when you have projects in the summer, back in Cameroon, they provide quite a significant amount of money for you to carry out those projects. It might be 2 million, it might be 3 million for a project that runs for about 2-3 months. And that's an opportunity for you to really serve the community. And these are scholarships that sometimes you just need to take the TOEFL, the SAT, or the GRE and have a good score. But people, people may not be very conscious of that. So if you took maybe one of these exams for a Commonwealth scholarship or whatever scholarship, know that you can apply to a whole lot of scholarships. And then we also just introduced a mentorship program for French students. I enjoyed the bilingualism today. I wish I were that bilingual. Oh my God. So we just introduced a mentorship for French-speaking students because the Mastercard Foundation scholarship was intended to develop leadership in Africa, because part of the problems that Africa is riddled with is as a lack of leadership, quality leadership, under supply of leadership, as the African Leadership Academy would put it. So this year we are targeting French universities or French students. And therefore, if you are a teacher in high school, or you just have access to a student who is in high school and doing exceedingly well, you can refer to those students who open dreams. We have we work with Sciences Po in France, which is the school where our President Paul Biya went to. We also work with a couple of African universities that are still building up their partnership with the Mastercard Foundation, and we shall be sharing that information. And this year we are it's been one of our best years, where we've had students getting admission into Harvard, getting admission into Stanford, getting admission into Dartmouth, and a whole set of universities that even Americans find it hard to get there. Thanks to the quality mentorship we have here, thanks to the support of institutions like the US Embassy that they've provided us with resources, with quality mentorship that people like Mr. Chila, Mr. Matthias, a lot of them who have really helped us a lot. And we only function thanks to the volunteering of many people. Open Dreams thrives on volunteering. So this summer alone, we'll have about 20 Open Dreams scholars, a whole lot of them studying in Africa and Europe, who shall be moving to the USA for internship. So imagine like 20 people moving to places like Google headquarters, Silicon Valley, and wherever for like 1, 2, 3 month internship, mostly in technology. We know the world today is controlled by technology. These are opportunities that you have, like the post that we shared about Ernestine. You just need to get one scholarship and prove yourself worthy before you know a lot of them fall into place. For instance, some of them who study in Africa, by the time they are finishing, they have employment online from banks in the US, banks in the UK, where you are in Cameroon and you're working and you are on an international salary. You're earning as much as 10 times the salary that a civil servant would earn in Cameroon. And these are things that sometimes, you know, we just get bound and we're too comfortable and we forget that there's always a lot more ahead. Now, we have very clear eligibility conditions to become part of Open Dreams. Open Dreams has intellectuals from, across any level, people with postdoctoral, accomplished professors who help to, to provide mentorship. We just had a partnership, or not a partnership, the United Nations granted us this special consultative status, meaning that as an institution, they can reach us in and ask for support on some areas that require some expertise. As I'm talking, one of the programs that we are currently looking into with the United Nations is that of developing a global instrument to fight cyber criminality. And one of us who is a magistrate and a PhD student at the University of Goya is on board. I followed a few sessions online and they are incredibly amazing. And this is where sometimes expertise is very relevant within Open Dreams. And when people come in with expertise at Open Dreams, there are a lot of things they can do. They help in teaching during the summer academy. They help in mentoring like we just had here. They help in research work within the community. They help in project implementation. They help in a whole lot of things because our goal is that we want to look at an alternative way of developing the country, an alternative way that is not only government dependent. Sometimes I say that when you are super intelligent, when you are smart, if you can use a computer, something that some people still cannot use, do not scramble for competitive entrance exams in the community. Allow those who may not have foresight, to scramble for that while you aim higher. What essentially that means is that we know that a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. While you also look into harnessing the local opportunities, also look beyond. It may take you just a few more things to do, and before you know, you wake up the giant in you. So at this point, I'm going to end here, and I believe there might be 1 or 2 questions. But before I give room to questions, I want to pay special homage to all the mentors. When you have achieved education to some level, not everybody will want to share knowledge with you generously. At times, you ask a question to a professor, or you are doing a PhD program at the university, and like Yaoundé one or wherever, and even Boya, and they will keep you in a PhD program for 8 years. Why? Because the professor might not want you. I don't know. I'm saying these things. They might be crazy things, but they do happen. I know we have professors with American mindsets, but we also have those with Cameroonian mindsets. Some will hold you down for 8 years, not validating your PhD, because they don't want you to come and take their position, or they want you to come and compete with them, these kind of things. But in a setting like this, we encourage academic development, because at the end of the day, we all get to learning. The world has evolved in so many ways, and there are so many areas of expertise that we just need to harness ourselves. So we are grateful that the experts took of time, hearkened to the call to, do this mentorship. And as I said, we are making this weekend a Fulbright weekend. What does that mean? Keep away a lot of the distractions that you might have, because like somebody said, work will never get finished. Prioritize, said, well, this action can help me change my life, or change the rest of my life. So dedicate 5 hours, 6 hours, work on your application. Reach out to somebody to read through. There will be people to read through. Some of us will be there to read through, though we cannot read for everybody, but reach out to people to read through. And before you know, you just sign into your email address, and you get an address that will excite you, raise your value, and someday you say, this is how it all started. And perhaps next year, you'll be sitting on the other side of the board. Robert, thank you so much for the incredible coordination. Thank you, everybody who had committed to this mentorship program. We'll continue to have exchanges in the WhatsApp group. We'll continue to support you, but do not wait till the last day to submit. As I said the other day, if you wait till the last day, you may want to shift it over to next year. Make it a point of duty to submit now, prioritize and submit. Thank you very much, and all the best. Over to you, Robert.
Ok, merci beaucoup, James, pour cette présentation de Open Dreams. Open Dreams est situé à Yaoundé. Il y a aussi Open Dreams à Bamenda. Nous avons Open Dreams à Yaoundé, à Obili, aux côtés de l'église catholique d'Obili. Je voudrais dire, Open Dreams est un organisme, je voudrais même dire une ONG qui fait dans le mentorat et qui aide les étudiants et presque tout le monde à pouvoir obtenir des opportunités de voyage pour études aux États-Unis, les programmes d'échange comme ceux-ci. Il y en a beaucoup, vous pouvez aller sur le net et vous tapez Open Dreams. Je pense qu'il y a aussi une page Facebook. Vous pouvez aller sur Facebook et vous allez voir tout ce que Open Dreams fait pour nous. Je voudrais, James, si les participants me le permettent, de lire cette recommandation. Elle est de Madame Tani Biagno qui nous dit « Let me commend the organizers. The mentorship initiative is of utmost importance and timely for potential applicants to US Exchange's programs as a whole. I attended the Humphrey program that was in 1996 in the UT Austin TX LBJ School of Public Affairs. Please, our applicants should always have at the back of their minds that everything that is written goes into the US government database and can be drawn up and used at any time in your relations with America. Something as simple as a mistake in your date of birth can be misinterpreted and mar your chances. Let's be careful about ensuring the credibility of every word we put down on those applications. Kudos for the successful meeting. I really want to, nous voulons dire merci à Madame Tani de nous donner cette recommandation. En fait, elle voudrait nous dire que tout ce que nous saisissons sera enregistré dans les programmes des Nations Unies et chaque fois que vous allez faire vous allez postuler pour un autre programme, cela pourra être mis à nu. Et si vous avez fait une erreur dans la première demande, par exemple, sur votre date de naissance, cela reviendra et cela pourra vous empêcher peut-être de gagner une opportunité. Donc, prenez le temps pour vous assurer que tout ce que vous mettez dans le programme, tout ce que vous mettez en ligne reflète vraiment votre personnalité et qu'il n'y ait pas d'erreur là-dessus, je vous en prie. C'est très important. Bien. Donc, je voudrais aussi cette recommandation. Nous avons Kélène Fonnuy qui dit merci au modérateur. Et nous avons Obase qui nous dit, I must say that the mentoring I have received through this mentorship cannot be overemphasized. I will say that he who works in the footstep of the wise is always wise. That's great. I really have the zeal to bring change and impact my community. Thank you, Open Dreams. Thank you, Kafta. Thank you, all the mentors. That's great. That is from Obase. He's a physics teacher. From GBHS and CBI Chang. And then we have this wow from Kellen saying that Open Dreams has got a lot of opportunity. Oh, that's great. So James has sent the links to the Open Dream Facebook page, to the website, and also to the emails if you want to email the Open Dreams. That's great. Mireille says thank you all. So that's great. We want to thank all of you for participating in this. Thank you to all our panelists. Merci beaucoup à Open Dreams d'avoir organisé ceci. Je ne pense pas, est-ce qu'il y a un participant qui aurait un mot à dire? Juste un mot pour un participant.
So why that is happening, we'll pray you to put on your camera so that we can take a picture. And as we take the picture, the moment he finished speaking, at least we need to get some cheers for all the some cheers to all the panelists this far.
Ok, un mot participant pour clore cette session de formation. Y a-t-il un participant qui voudrait dire quelque chose? Is there any participant who will, yeah, I can see a hand from Obase, first come, first serve, that's great. Obase Joshua, vous avez la parole. Could you activate your microphone? We can't hear you.
Okay, I hope the mic is activated now.
Yeah, it is. We can hear you quite well.
Okay, I was just saying thank you to the mentorship team for all this mentoring that are given to us for this number of days. It has not been easy through network. At times short of electrical power, but that's how we're standing. We were able to receive some of the recordings that were made in some of the programs that were not available. I will really give a big thanks to Mr. Akaba James, Mr. Kemba Robert, and the host of others, Nancy, who have taken their time. They have scheduled, no matter how far they were busy, but they still find time to come and talk to us, to really drill us on this application process. It's really something to appreciate. It is really wonderful. The mentoring was great, excellent. In fact, I am motivated. I will not sleep this night. I should tell everybody that I'm really working hard to be one of the people or one of the participants that will be selected this year. Thank you very much.
Wow, merci beaucoup pour cette détermination, Joshua. C'est bien. Merci pour ces commentaires. Nous voudrons encore, James l'a dit tout à l'heure, could you please activate your videos, your camera, so we could have a group picture? Yes, and we want to thank our panelists. Thank you very much, Mireille Chakunte, for going an extra mile to talk to us about your private issues, like your test results. That we want to thank you for that. We thank Andre for taking time to prepare all he had and then presenting them well. We also want to thank Doctor. Doctor actually did a great job, and I think all our participants are satisfied. We want to thank those who took time in mentioning their comments and asking questions for more understanding. And we want to thank Mrs. Bianio for her important comment, Mrs. Stani, on issues we need to avoid. So thank you very much, everyone. I hope you wouldn't hesitate to apply. Remember that it's one thing attending the program, but it's another thing actually applying. Donc, nous voudrons que à la fin de, comme nous parvenons à la fin de cette formation, que vous puissiez tout le monde postuler. Il faudrait vraiment postuler, s'il vous plaît. Donc, à nous revoir la prochaine fois et nous voudrons vraiment recevoir des messages de vous nous disant que vous avez été sélectionné. Merci beaucoup. Merci à Open Dreams pour avoir organisé cette session. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Madame Hubert, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Tellement bien. And
Merci.
Mr. Akaba, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Akaba.
Thank you.
Thanks to
Bye
all.
bye. Thank you to you all. Bye bye. Thank you, James. Thank you, Robert.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Such a great pleasure. Bye.